TradingView application. Okay, so you just have to search TradingView. Once you searched it out, this is it here. Has a T and a V like icon, right? So basically you just do the next thing is install it. But then what's the essence of TradingView application? That is the question. What's the essence of TradingView application? TradingView application is one of the most recommended applications for your trade analysis. Now, why do we say trade analysis? When you want to make research about technical analysis, I believe you've actually studied that, right? Technical analysis, the study of price, historical price data. You need those data. You may not have those data, so TradingView collect and store those data for you to be able to access on that platform. So by using TradingView, you'll be able to have access to those data, and then make your research from them, and then make as well as make your investment decision or your trading decision of those charts, right? So that's basically, so for being able to install TradingView application, the first thing we do is we load the TradingView application, right? It's actually showing you tutorials on how to make use of this, select time frames, draw trend line, the rest of it. But then that's basically what this session is actually for, right? So what do we do now? Have to so this is when you load your TradingView application. This is how your TradingView application. That is the primary interface. If you don't have a TradingView account, that is, you don't have an account you created with either your email address or any of your email address, whether Gmail, Yahoo Mail, Microsoft Mail, or whatever, right? So basically, this is how your account. You can still use this to make research. One of the flaws of this is that if you change your device, the data will not be stored for you, right? So basically, by adding your accounts, or creating an account for yourself, you will be able to make use of TradingView data across multiple devices, right? So for instance, now my account is signed in my multiple devices, my PC, my phones, and a lot of other stuff, right? So even if I don't have access to this particular device, I'm using the other one now, I will be able to see the research I've made before and then continue from where I started. So what do I do now? I just have to click this menu. Have to do this menu here. Let's see what's there. Okay, so we click the menu and then it says sign in, right? You can see sign in bar. So you just click sign in. Then if you have an email, so you can sign in with Google. If you have a Google account you want to sign in with, you can design to sign in with a special email address. But now sign in with Google, right? I've signed in with Google. My account has been added because I had an account TradingView, and you can see these are the assets that are on my watch list that I've made analysis. Okay, for instance, let me open XRP, right? So as you can see now, XRP should be able to refresh and show data I had on this, right? You can see now, right? This is basically why creating an account TradingView is essential to help you to store the data across your multiple devices. I just signed in a new device, into a new device, and then those analysis I made before are just refreshed, right? So basically, this is remember I shared this trade with us, right? I spoke about the possibility of the trade rejecting from the 786 Fibonacci level, and that we may not get a fill at 0.41, but then if we get a fill at 0.41, that is a very good one. Why? Because that is a low risk trade opportunity, though it is still risky compared to my threshold, right? But then it's less than that particular 786 entry. So that's the reason why we did not play the 786 entry, because the risk inherent on the trade at that particular point will be very, very big to most of our accounts. So the best thing to do is to reject the trade. Discipline and time will make you a profitable trader. Okay? So what's the next thing we do now? How do we make use of this TradingView analysis to draw the trend lines, whatever? How do we make use of it? Now, your TradingView, you won't see all these crypto pairs, right? Let actually start deleting them. Okay, let me just leave it. Now your trading view, you will see all these crypto pairs. So what do you do? Remember how your home face was, right? It is one of the ones, but then we add some pairs. You just use this search bar here. Say for instance you want to search for, what can we say now, maybe which assets, maybe Coty. Let's see Coty. Now you search out for Coty and then you add Coty, right? You've been able to add Coty. Now, so you want to make analysis on Coty. Let's see what Coty. So you just have, once you've searched it and you added it, you tap the pair. Then you have your multiple time frames. For you that you are using this for the first time, pay attention. This is where you can actually switch between assets. If I tap that particular, I select another asset now, right? Now to switch between time frames, I will just come and type this. I have daily time frame, and once I tap it now, I can have weekly time frame, access to weekly time frame data. Can you see that? Once I click that weekly time frame, I can access weekly time frame data. Can you see that? Once I click that place again, I can access 4 hours data. And then can you see that as I'm dragging my screen, and that is pinching on my screen, I'm able to zoom in and zoom out of the charts by pinching on my screen, right? I'm able to zoom into and out of the charts. That is how you can actually zoom in and out of a chart. Another thing you can actually do is that towards this bottom place where we have this what's it called, dates and time, you can just hold down and then drag. Once you hold down and drag, you can actually zoom in and zoom out as well, right? Can you notice that? Hope you can notice this, right? Now to have a better view or a bigger view of the whole thing, you might want to rotate your screen, right? You might want to rotate your screen. So basically, let us, okay, so by tilting the screen to landscape mode, we'll be able to see more data, right? We'll be able to have a bigger screen view. That is actually using your phone. So if you're actually using your phone, by tilting to landscape mode, you'll be able to see more view, right? So okay, so this is for cutting now. There are several things I would like you to note. Now this is how your app will be. These buttons you are seeing here all have their functions, right? We've been able to establish that this place, perhaps while within this place and you want to switch between assets, you can actually just tap this Coty and then you will switch between assets, right? You can tap this time frame here, 4 hours, to switch between time frames, right? Now what is this pencil like drawing? Pencil like, now if you want to make drawing, that is, if you want to represent what you are seeing on the chart, we are seeing on the charts with lines, right? See, for instance, I've been able to spot that we have a trend line support level that the market has been respecting right here, as I just highlighted. Now okay, let me move. Now I observe that the market has been going up and has developed a trend line here, and I want to pictorially represent what I just saw. So what do? I come and click this pencil here. So once I click this pencil here, drawings will be opened onto me. For instance, now I've selected several favorites, right? As you can see, I have trend line, rails, horizontal line, ray, whatever. I've selected favorites. But then you that don't have favorite, this is not how it will be for you. Where will you be starting? You'll be starting from trend line. This is where you will be starting here, right? This is where your chart. Once you tap that icon, this is where you start. So now you will want to select that particular pair you want to make use of. Say for instance that I want to make use of trend line, right? Because I want to represent that support, that diagonal support that I've seen in the chart. What do? I will come back, select trend line, then go back to where I've seen it. Now because I have what's it called, magnet turned on, that is why this thing is actually doing this way. Say for instance that I don't have magnet turned on. Okay, let me turn off magnets. So okay, where did I click to turn off magnet? I click these 3 dots here, right? You can see that. So I click the dots. Is that the place? Sorry, I don't think that's the place. I think it's around symbols. Yeah, it's around. So to turn off magnets, sorry, you click the same pencil, drawing, and then you can see magnets here. So I'll just tap it, and once I tap it, it will ask me whether weak, strong, disable. So I will disable magnet. So you are just opening your chart, maybe magnets will not be enabled for you. So when you select your trend line, you see that you have to drag it yourself. Okay, so guys, so having turned off the magnet, now the essence of you turning off the magnet is that you, what am I saying? Okay, now so we've been able to establish that the reason why we turn on the magnet and turn it off from here, that is to turn on the magnet, is to be able to avoid the errors of parallax, right? That is the errors associated with not placing your support and resistance at the actual point. Now observe something. Okay, I think there's something I've just saw now. It makes sense for this example as well. Now look at, let's zoom into this support and resistance I drew here. Can you see that this guy is not touching here, right? These are the errors of parallax, right? So we want to avoid those errors as much as possible we can, and to be able to do that easily, we can leverage technology by putting on the magnet. So once we put on the magnet, we come here, select magnets, select this asset, we can easily come and place this at this point. You can see now, right? And then connect it to the rest of the points we want it to go to. You can see that we did not miss those points. So that's the essence of the magnet. Magnet gives us precision, that when we want to get the swing points for this pairs, we can leverage the magnet to get that precision that we need, right? So that is the essence of using the magnet to draw the trend line, support and resistance, or whatever other tool you want to draw that will need you to connect points on the chart. Okay, so I've been able to represent this diagonal support and resistance in the market, right? So that is one of the essence of the drawing tools. So we've been able to show where we can actually pick the drawing tool from. We can get the drawing tool from here, and then there are numerous drawings you can actually pick from here. From your chart patterns, you can actually see them, chart patterns. Okay, here we have the support, resistance, highlighting tools. These are the drawing, the lines, right? Sorry, the trend lines. Here we have the trend lines, the arrows to beautify your chart. You want to show direction. Okay, after analysis, okay, you want to see, okay, this guy, once this guy come here, it's to start rejecting. The arrow is gonna tell you bias, you understand, like direction, like a vector showing the direction where the object should go from after testing the support level, right? So that's basically some of the things you need these tools for. And the next thing you're gonna see here, you will see something like info line, trend line, info line. Now this trend line, info line, when you draw this trend line, info line, it will give you a lot of information, stuff like the number of days it's taking. Now that this number of days are bars, right? The angle of inclination, the percentage change from the point where you started from. This is basically what this trend line, info line is. So, but you see the same thing as initial, but the difference is that it now gives the number of bars or days that the market has actually traded, given what you are considering already, right? So that is what this one actually does for. And then the next one we have on the list, we have extended trend line. Fam, to get this easily, some of the things you need to do is you open up your chart, you just be testing this, bringing it up, putting it on your charts, then removing them. You'll be seeing the stuff they are doing, right? Then play with these guys, play with them a lot, as much as you can. So that's that about these drawing tools, right? Now about for the Gann and Fibonacci tool, I don't know if we talked about Fibonacci retracement tools and what we use them for. Fibonacci retracement tool and then trend-based Fibonacci. These are the ones I use in this place. And then I think I don't use this other pitchfork and whatever. But then they have their various tools, their various applications. So you need to study them if you want to make use of them. Study them, understand them, and then you apply them, because these things are tools. You understand? So like for instance, if you're a tractor. If you're a tractor, if you're someone that man tractor, you don't want to just wake up someday and start driving tractor coupled implements, right? You want to learn how to do those stuff. You want to learn how to control those stuff. So that's the same thing with trading. You don't just come here and then maybe you start using pitchfork or modified shift pitchfork. Yeah, you don't know what there's the essence for, right? You don't even know the information you'll be getting from this pitchfork. You don't know how to play off those information. So you want to study those tools and then leverage them. For the time being, what I know how to use are the ones I've actually selected as favorites here, which is Fib and then the trend-based Fibonacci. What do I use it for? I use it to know the points, potential support and resistance after expansion. That is what we call after expansion. Now, did you see what just happened here? After expansion, where can you see the market came back? The market came back to just my areas of interest, 786, and then the market was supported there and the market rejected. So if you just keep on checking this, that is what we call the magic of Fibonacci retracement tool. Hopefully we discuss that sometime in the future. Now the market will just come, hold support at one of those Fibonacci levels and then reject. Can you see this one? 786 as well. At times the market will not come to those levels, but at times, most times, they come to those levels and then they are rejected from there. So those, it can actually predict for us short-term support and resistance in the market, and then we leverage them to make money. The whole goal is all about making more money, right? Awesome. So that is what the pitch, the Fib retracement tools are for. For now, what is the trend-based Fib retracement tool meant for? Now, in an uptrending market, that is after the market has actually made this swing low, and I want to know where the potential new resistance can actually occur, or that is where I can actually take my profit. What do? Now I pick out my Fib, my trend-based Fib retracement tool, and I connect it to this one point. The other Fib retracement tool is you connect just 2 points, but then the trend-based Fib tool you connect 3 points. I connect 1, 2, and then 3. Can you see something? It tells me the potential areas where the market can actually react, and you see for each of these levels there was a reaction at these levels, right? Now we had a reaction at 50% here. You can see the rejection candles. We had another reaction at the 618. We had another significant reaction at the 786 before the market caught some potentials and then swung up, and then at the 100% of the Fib, then that was where the market totally rejected from. So this is one of the things you can actually do with these tools. Hopefully we'll be able to study them more in the future. Okay, so this is about the trend-based Fibonacci retracement tool. What is the next tool we're going to be looking at here? Okay, I think we are done with measuring tools, Ghana Fibonacci. So what's the next thing? Geometric tools. And these geometric tools, you just want to highlight, make drawings, whatever. Ellipse is more like a cycle. You want to, maybe if you felt like, okay, this guy, this hammer here is calling your attention, then you want to just highlight it. You can use the ellipse to highlight it, right? Can you see that, right? So that's basically one of the uses of those guys, or whatever use that you want to apply it to. Just be creative, guys. Creative, play out of the box. It's your tool. You know, someone can actually use hammer to nail, someone can use hammer to drive in screws, someone can use an hammer to crack nuts. So basically, just be creative. Whatever you want to use your tool for, use it for that. Remember, okay, that is your tool. Okay, so now, and then this rectangular box here, I normally use it to draw support and resistance. Some people can actually just use lines and they are okay with that, but then I prefer to use box, remembering that support and resistance are zones, so I can actually see multiple zones I'm interested. Instead of using a single line, I will just use the boxes, and when I use the boxes, it helps me see those stuff clearly, right? So this is how we make those boxes you normally see on our charts. We just use that. I'll just click here, go to rectangles, and then we highlight rectangles, we select rectangles, and then we come to our charts, we connect the points we're interested, right? You just connect the points you're interested, and then how can you see those zones have been rejecting and prices have been holding around that level. So this is basically some of the stuff we do with this guy. Awesome, right? Yeah, I believe awesome. So what else do we need to? A polyline. What is the polyline? Say for instance, you want to draw the trend, you want to highlight the trend, you can use the polyline, do stuff like this, stuff like this, stuff like this, stuff like this. You understand? So you just want to show what are you expecting. This is a continuous trend, right? So that is what the polyline can actually stand for. And then the rest of the tools. Now for the measuring tools, okay, for instance, which is one of the most important questions that most of you guys will have, those tools like the long and the short tools, right? Those are some of the things you guys, and to see those two, you go to what do we call measurement. Okay, we'll be coming back to patterns, measurement tools, prediction and measurement. Now long tool, this long tool, once you place this long tool here, what it simply means is that your entry is at the gray area, which is 0.938. Your stop loss is at the red area, which is 0.846, and then your TP is at the green area, which is 0.1030. okay, now looking at this, we have risk reward ratio is 1, so you have that information. These are the numerous information you can actually pick from these long and short tools. Looking at that place here, looking at this place, we have the long and short tool. We have, sorry, the risk reward ratio. Here you have the inherent risk on this trade. That is, if you are placing $100 on a 1x leverage, you are most likely to lose 9% of your money. So if you are using a 10x leverage, you are most likely to use a 90% of your money, right? 98% of your money, right? So this is basically what this risk is all about. And then the next thing tells you the risk reward ratio, and yeah, so that's basically what these stuffs tell you. So also for the short tool, you can just select the short tool. The short tool will be the opposite of the long, right? Because short, we are going down, right? We are betting that the market should go down. So the short tool, you just place it here, and then the same information can be deduced from the tool: entry, risk, take profit, right? So this is basically what you want to do with these tools, right? So do like to entertain your questions if there are any. If there are none, I think we've done a lot about the tools, but then let me still see if there are still other things we can actually look at. Okay, these other buttons here, what are they for? The other buttons. Now this one that is f of x, sorry, function, let me say function, let me not say f of x, yeah, function, is more like indicators. We tap that, that should take us to indicators, right? That should take us to indicators, technical indicators. We have the average true range, the fixed volume profile, the relative strength in the sessions volume profile, whatever. Okay, so this is basically what those buttons are meant for, right? And then the next one is alerts. This one is to set alerts. You want to add alerts, that is where you do that. Okay, so for instance, I want to add alerts that when this asset crosses a particular point, I should be notified, so that I will run and come and confirm if I have a trade opportunity, because I'm not expecting myself to stay and watch. And let's say this is crossing there. Once it crosses there, I will be giving the alert, and I'll start looking for opportunities. Maybe it's a breakout, maybe it's a breakdown, maybe it's a trigger, a limit, stop limit. So this is basically what it is all about, right? Setting alerts. And the next one is comparison. If you click that addition button that I just did, this one here, you will be able to compare symbols, right? Okay, so the next one is, what's that next one? Have I used this before? I don't think. But let's see what it's all about. The financials, more like where you start seeing price to earning ratios and the rest of them. So what is this one for? Indicator templates. I don't make use of this one. I'm a naked chart trader. Now ideas you've published. This next one is ideas that I've published. I want to publish an idea on this, rather. Sorry, if I want to publish an idea on this, so this is basically where it will get me to. Okay, so now to save your chart, for those of you that don't know how to journal your trades, after you've done your analysis, to save your charts, if you tilt your screen, you'll be able to see this guy. But if you don't tilt your screen, you won't see this guy. Okay, let me untilt my screen. Let me keep it in an horizontal manner. Sorry, let me keep my screen in a vertical manner. Let me keep my screen in a vertical manner. What's up? Why is this guy doing this way? And oh no. Okay, so now in this vertical manner, can you see that we cannot see that option where we can save our charts, right, or share it, or copy the link to share it? But then in an horizontal manner, you can actually see this button here, and most of these buttons that we can actually see in the vertical manner, right, in vertical direction or vertical orientation, right? So basically you just select that, and then you'll be able to share this chart. You just copy the link, given an option to copy the link, share it, save it. You want to show someone, for instance, you want to show me your bias, right? I don't expect you to start sharing me screenshots. I want you to just copy URL. I'm okay with that. You can send me the URL rather, sorry about that, URL. You can send me the link to the chart, or you can just save the image. You can actually save the image as well, right? You can see the option to save chart image, share chart image, right? So, and then you can save it for reference for studies in the future. So this one was that date range. What date range do you want them to give you, year to day? That is basically what you are looking at now. Or would you want to look at 5 years, 6 months, 20 years? What's the date range you want to be looking at? Or you may not be able to access, or because you did not pay for that, right? Okay, yeah, you're able to access that, but then that's on a monthly time frame. Okay, I hope you get the gist now, right? So you just want to play with these tools. You want to play with the tools to get yourself acquainted. Say for instance, you don't like candlestick charts, you prefer bar charts, or you're a guru in using bar chart. This is where you can actually select bar charts. You can change between bar charts, right? Then you select that bar, and then you can say candle, line charts, raincoat. These are different chart representative format. I already told us about this before now during our class, Introduction to Technical Analysis, right? So this is basically all about it in using TradingView. And if you have any question, feel free to still ask your question, fam. Remember, we're in this together. Financial independence is a certainty for every savvy investor that is committed to working hard, right? Awesome. Thank you guys for this. Thank you for the wonderful suggestion. Thank you for the request for the session. I just hope that you've been enlightened by this. Whatever doubt you still have, bring it forward, fam. We are always available and eager to enlighten you. Cheers to being savvy investors, guys. Awesome.